Hello, Covington County. Welcome to our May 22nd edition of Good News Covington County. Coming to you from live on the square in Andalusia with Cousin Jared, Cousin Tom, our guest Batman, and of course, I'm Brother John. The first segment of our local news and information is brought to you by Joe Richburg and the team at JR's Lawnmower in Opp, Alabama. Cousin Jared and I were out for a short visit with Joe Richburg, and both of us were impressed by the quality of JR's people and the quality of the lines that Joe and his team carry at JR's Lawnmower. There's everything from Generac Honda and Kawasaki engines and power products to Cushman and E-Z-Go golf carts. We've also got the best selection of big green egg grills and cookers, merchandise, in fact, that I've seen anywhere. If you need mowing and grounds maintenance equipment from zero radius mowers like the Grasshopper or the Husqvarna, go see the people at Joe's. They've got weed eaters and trimmers from chainsaws, from Steel, Husqvarna, blowers for blowing off your yard. Whatever you need, they've got it in the electric and the gas-powered version. The folks at JR have got what you need to make your outdoor work a pleasure, and they've got the parts and the people to fix the equipment you buy from them or from their competitors. They're located at 1006 West Cummins Avenue in Opp, Alabama. JR's has got what you need, and go by and see them or call them today at 334-493-9645. They'll treat you right. Our first story I think of the line from Blazing Saddles when Slim Pickens looks up and says, "What in the wide world of sports is going on?" And our first line is kind of about that. It's the Andalusia Board of Educated non-renewed the head basketball coach's contract. Andalusia High School is in need of a new head coach after the Board of Educated voted to non-renew Anthony Clark's contract Monday. The board hired Clark in April of 2016, and in his 2 years in Andalusia, his record was 48-9. In his second year at the helm, he took Andalusia to the Final Four for the first time since 2009. But unfortunately, the Bulldogs fell short to Cordova in the 4A finals. No reason was given for the vote, which with a number of other personnel decisions was taken after an 80-minute closed session, but part of which included Board Attorney Bill Alverson. Superintendent Ted Watson said only, "Andalusia Schools made us change. We look forward to filling the position as soon as we possibly can. We know that basketball tryouts and summer workouts will be here soon." He also said, "We ask that the people be patient as we review the resumes of those available and make a decision." The school system is advertising for applications for a number of jobs, but this one has not yet been listed. Clark had spent 27 years in coaching and education and led 21 teams to state playoffs. Clark is a 1987 graduate of Pleasant Home High School. He won back-to-back championships on the state level in 2001 and 2002 as the school's head basketball coach. In 2001 and 2002, he was named the Alabama Sports Writers Association Class 1A Coach of the Year. Over his career as a coach, Clark has been head coaching at Boaz High School, Douglas High School, UMS Wright, Pleasant Home, Beauregard High School, and other schools throughout the state. While at UMS Wright, Clark was named the Class 4A Coach of the Year in 2009 and 2010 by the Mobile Optimist Club. Now, in other news from that meeting, the Andalusia Board of Education did an awful lot of other personnel work. Now, I must give attribution on both of these stories to Michelle Gerlach from the Andalusia Star News. She did a great job. We've got a lot of ground to cover here. The Andalusia Board of Education made a number of personnel decisions Monday night. while the rest of us were sitting there watching wrestling and dancing with the stars. They were working hard for us. State law requires that the board make any decisions to a non-renew personnel or to a transfer of personnel before the last day of the school. The board accepted resignations from the following: Sonia Wallace, Andalusia High School special ed teacher, who's leaving for another job. Sweet lady. Tammy Pinkard, Andalusia Junior High School science teacher, who is retiring. Elaine Brunson, Andalusia Elementary School principal, who is retiring. Allison Stroud, Andalusia Elementary School special ed teacher, who is leaving for another job. Jenny Watson, Central Office preschool teacher, who is retiring. Macklin Hudson, AHS English teacher, and Adam Helms, AHS physical and Andalusia High School physical ed teacher. Helms also was an assistant football coach. The board non-renewed the following: Yvette Ackridge at Andalusia Junior High School as an 8th grade math teacher. Stephanie Davis in Andalusia Elementary School as a special ed professional. Paula Wilson at Andalusia Elementary School as a special ed professional. And Anthony Clark, Andalusia High School teacher and basketball coach. The board also granted tenure to the following: Brad Goldman, Andalusia High School social studies teacher. Trent Taylor, Andalusia High School athletic director. Candace Williams, Andalusia High School math teacher. Amanda Hutton, Andalusia Elementary School 4th grade teacher. Bonnie Lee, Andalusia Education Elementary, I said that a bunch of times, kindergarten teacher. Alexa Paget, Andalusia Elementary School pre-K enrichment teacher. Vanessa Snyder, Andalusia Elementary School 4th grade teacher. Brittany Woodall, oh, what a sweet, sweet lady and has a wonderful husband, at Andalusia Elementary School's 5th grade teacher. Brenda Johnson, Andalusia Elementary School's assistant principal. Gina Coon, Andalusia Elementary School special ed teacher. And Ray Wilson at the central office as an alternative school administrator. The board transferred the following: Jody Adams from Andalusia Elementary School to special ed to Andalusia High School special ed teacher. Tina Rogers from Andalusia High School special ed teacher to Andalusia Elementary School special ed teacher. Alexa Paget from Andalusia Elementary School OSR to lead teacher to ACS Andalusia City School preschool teachers. The board hired the following: Denise Pierce, Andalusia High School math teacher. Dinah Thigpen, Andalusia High School English teacher. Auburn Carrier, Andalusia Elementary School OSR lead teacher. The board also named cafeteria worker Jennifer Bergens the AES cafeteria manager. The board granted a leave of absence to Amy Norris at Andalusia Elementary School, a special ed professional. Now, that's about all the news we've got on the personnel board decisions for the Board of Education in this segment, but we do have some more information coming up about what's going on at the Board of Education. Thank you for watching this segment. We'll be back shortly. Welcome back to Good News Covington County, our Tuesday, May 22nd edition. This segment of local information is brought to you by Andalusia Tire Company, located at 850 West Bypass in Andalusia. They've got whatever you need in the way of tires. If you've got a flat on anything from your bicycle to that Terragator spreading fertilizer, your best choice is to get your stuff rolling in a hurry is to go to Andalusia Tire Company. Go and see Jimbo or call Todd or Greg Caton at 334-222-3136 for your tire, brake, and chassis needs. Andalusia Tire can get you tires for about anything that rolls. They'll be able to get the work done the first time, but I'll tell you one thing: they don't carry windshield wiper oil. Now, in other news locally, we've got the news that Andalusia High School, that Andalusia Elementary School principal is retiring. Andalusia Elementary School teacher principal Elaine Brunson is retiring this year after 4 years at the school's helm. The Andalusia Board of Education has accepted her retirement or resignation on Monday. Superintendent Ted Watson said a number of people have expressed interest in the job since Brunson announced her plans to retire last week. Elaine's contract runs through June, so we've got a little bit of time, Watson said. We plan to conduct interviews and see what the candidates bring to the table. Ms. Brunson has done a wonderful job of implementing a variety of programs, including the Leader in Me and the Champs program, he said. She was the first principal of Andalusia Elementary School who was not afraid to put art on the walls and make it look like kids go to school there. The facility looks as good as it ever looked, and she's done a wonderful job with that, inside and out. Watson said experience will be a plus as he searches for the school's new leader. The school population is bigger than any city in Conecuh County except for Evergreen, and every town in Monroe County except for Monroeville. There are 70 staff members. Experience will be looked at favorably. Bronson became principal on effective July 1st, 2014, after having worked as a curriculum coordinator for Andalusia High School, Covington County Schools, and serving as the principal of Red Level School. The National Hurricane Center is watching a potential storm out in the Gulf. Now, we got a little threat last week. Michelle Gerlach from Andalusia Star News says the National Hurricane Center has issued a special tropical weather outlook for a system that has potential to develop into a named storm later this week. In its Monday updates, the National Hurricane Center showed they're currently in the Caribbean Sea, bringing rain across Cuba and in toward the Florida Peninsula. Conditions are expected to be unfavorable for development during the next couple of days. Some gradual development is possible later this week as the system moves into the central or eastern Gulf of Mexico, according to the National Hurricane Center. Forecasters give it a 20% chance of development over the next 5 days. If it were to become a named storm, it would be Alberto. Hurricane season starts January 1. The interesting thing about that is I noticed this morning, catching some other information from the National Weather Center. This alert was issued yesterday. I was watching the Weather Channel and doing a few things on the internet. They've already raised this from a 20% chance of becoming a hurricane to a 40% chance of becoming a hurricane. The direction that they're predicting right now would be anywhere from Biloxi all the way over just about to St. Pete, but they can't seem to put a bead on where it's going. So if you're like I think you want to be, it'd be a good time to be getting prepared for a hurricane. We're going to have some more this season. I think they're planning on predicting 11 named hurricanes this season. So be prepared. Get ready for this one. The first 3 things that disappear are white bread, strawberry Pop-Tarts, and water. Take care of yourself. We'll be back in just a little bit with more information. More local news is brought to you courtesy of the people at Darby's Medical Center Pharmacy, located across the street from Andalusia Health Campus, that's Andalusia Hospital, and Darby's Original Village Pharmacy, located at 301A East 39th Street here in Andalusia. No matter which side of town you live on, Darby's has a pharmacy near you. With a professional staff of local pharmacists and prices competitive with any in the big chains, Darby's is your best choice for your pharmacy needs. Call Laura and the other pharmacists at 582-3784 if you need the help at the South 39th store, or David and his highly qualified group of professionals at 222-8825 at the East 39th Street location. Now that we've got a couple of articles here that are pretty interesting about young people here in Covington County. We're really proud of them. This is a story about in the Andalusia Star News by Christopher Smith is about the valedictorian at Red Level High School. Ramsey Mara has always looked up to billionaire computer whiz Bill Gates and hopes to follow his path of success. He says he's always admired Bill Gates. Just a story about coming from nothing and working his way to the top. I really relate to that. Well, I hope he relates to how competitive Mr. Gates and his whole family really are, too. That's something that's not usually told. Mara's mother was his biggest motivation to becoming valedictorian. I thought throughout my life that my mother has been there pushing me to be the best. Mara said, and it happened. Mara is very involved in several extracurricular activities at Red Level High School, including Beta Club, Mu Alpha Theta, Jobs for American Graduates, Fellowship of Christian Athletes, Student Council, being the senior class president, being an ambassador for the school, and being a line judge for the high school volleyball team. Mara said that he and salutatorian Dylan Scruggs have been in competition ever since elementary school for the role of valedictorian and salutatorian. We've always been neck and neck with everything that we do, Mara said. We were always the ones winning the awards in elementary school, and it just transitioned into coming into high school. In Mara's spare time, he plays video games and does a thing called park hour, which is a sport of trying to get around various obstacles in the quickest and most efficient way and manner possible. A lot of people hurt themselves doing that, such as by jumping, flipping, or climbing. I guess I'm just like any other active high schooler, he said. I enjoy playing video games and park hour. They're my two passions. After graduation, Mara plans to attend the University of Alabama and major in computer science engineering. The long-term goal is to work as a programmer, Mara said, hopefully for a big-name company like Google or Microsoft. Mara is the son of Stephanie Dubose and Eric Mara. His grandparents are Ralph and Randy and Teresa Castleberry and Rosa Lee Castleberry. Scruggs is doing a good job. Now we're going to talk about Dylan Scruggs, is a competitor in the salutatorian at Red Level High School. Red Level High School salutatorian Dylan Scruggs has been competing with valedictorian Ramsey Mara ever since he came to Red Level. I came to Red Level in the 5th grade, he said, after my parents' divorce. Scruggs says, my family is here, so this is where we ended up, and we've always been competing against each other, referring to Ramsey. Scruggs said that his parents have motivated him to be the very best he could be. Scruggs is a member of the varsity baseball team, Jobs for America, Graduate Science Club, Beta Club, Mu Alpha Theta, and his church's youth group. His main role model in this life, is his uncle Joey Lee. He's my model because of his constant hard work and dedication to provide a good life to his wife and kids. Scruggs says, I've always admired that in him and the way that he was toward my own family and the way he's been toward me. I want to be that way in the future. Outside of school, Scruggs spends time with his friends and family. He attends Pigeon Creek Baptist Church and is very involved with their youth program. Scruggs says he plans to attend the University of West Alabama and pursue a degree in nursing. Amanda Lee and David Scruggs are his parents, and his maternal grandparents are James and Kathy Lee. His paternal grandmother is Sue Scruggs Bush. Now that's it for this segment. We'll be back shortly. Our next segment in news is brought to you by courtesy of Bauer Auto Parts, located at 304 East Cumming Avenue in Opp, Alabama. If you need auto parts, check out the best 4-letter word in auto parts, Napa, at Bauer Auto Parts. Call Jamie or Jackie or any of the crew at 334-493-4017 for all your automotive parts, heavy duty, and hydraulic system needs. Right now, they've got a special on Mobil 1 oil and Chicago Pneumatic Air Tools. And that's fine quality air tools, by the way. Don't miss out on the great deals they have. That's Bauer Auto Parts in Opp, Alabama. And let me tell you, cousin Jared and I were by there on Friday, and that building is full of auto parts. I mean, this stock full. I don't know where they could. Jared, do you know where they could put any more? They had them stacked on top of each other, sideways, upside down, and in places I don't even know that they exist. That's Bauer Auto Parts over on East Cumming in Opp, Alabama. Check it out with Jamie and Jackie. They'll take care of you. Now we got some local sports news from Opp. Opp had a little kind of a football jamboree on Friday night, and they played Kinston. I guess you'd call that the Highway 52 rivalry across there. But the Bobcats beat the Kinston Bulldogs in 3 quarters by a score of 40-30, according to a story by Josh Dutton. It had to be a good ball game. The Bobcats culminated their spring football practice with a 40-30 win against Kinston on Friday night. The Bulldogs were up to the challenge, forcing an interception on the first drive. Kinston scored 2 plays later for a 6-0 lead. On Opp's second possession, Ashton Patel scored the first of his 3 touchdowns to tie the game at 6-6. Kinston responded with a touchdown to go back in front 12-6 after 1 quarter. Sounds like both of them got a little problem with their point after kicking game. On the first play of the second quarter, Opp tied the game back up. Cameron Hines scored from 2 yards out to tie the game at 12-12. After forcing a Bulldog turnover, the Bobcats were back in the end zone on a 15-yard run by Patel. He also ran in a 2-point conversion for a 20-12 Bobcat lead. Kinston continued to come back, cutting the Opp lead to just 2 points with another score. Up 20-18, the Bobcats extended their lead on a 58-yard touchdown pass from Hal Smithart to James Cornelius. Less than a minute later, Kinston pulled within 2 again, and Opp responded with a 1-yard plunge from Hines for his second score of the game and a 32-24 Bobcat lead at halftime. Patel scored his third and final touchdown of the game in the third quarter on a 2-yard run, as well as converting the 2-point attempt for a 40-24 Opp lead. Kinston's final score came with 1 minute left in the third quarter as they cut the game to 10 points at 40-30. The varsity played the first 3 quarters while the JV teams from both schools played the fourth quarter. The score was reset to 0-0. Neither JV team scored in the fourth quarter, and the game ended with Opp winning their varsity contest by a score of 40-30. Smithart led the Bobcat offense with 225 yards passing and 9 of 18 attempts, with a touchdown to go along with 43 yards that he made on the ground. And that 43 yards was on 11 carries. Ashton Patel scored 3 touchdowns and had 65 yards on 11 carries. It's a little over 6 yards per carry. Eric Matthews played a big part on both sides of the ball, catching 4 passes for 72 yards and intercepting Kinston twice, returning 1 for 40 yards to set up a Bobcat score in the third quarter. Opp now shifts their focus to the start of summer workouts. Opp's first game of the season is scheduled for August 31st against Elba, and it's going to be a slobber knocker when those two play. They'll be playing in Opp. Kinston will face their Highway 52 rival Sampson, and their opener also scheduled for August 31st. Now, in other news, and this one comes to us courtesy of the office of Martha Roby, Fort Rucker wins an award for excellence at their installation. Great news for Fort Rucker. The United States Secretary of Defense, James Mattis, announced that Fort Rucker has been named a recipient of the Commander-in-Chief's Annual Award for Installation Excellence. According to the Department of Defense, the Commander-in-Chief's Annual Award for Installation Excellence recognizes the outstanding and innovative efforts of the people who operate and maintain U.S. military installations. That's all over the world. The 5 recipients, and there are only 5 in all these spaces, of this highly competitive presidential award were selected for their exemplary support of the Department of Defense missions. Major General William Gaylor, Colonel Brian Walsh, and many hardworking men and women who work at Fort Rucker brought this prestigious award. Fort Rucker is one of the finest military installations in the country. And I guess that kind of proves it, doesn't, with an award like that. We've got a lot of fine people from this area, several more from Op than from Andalusia, that commute over there every day to work. And we're appreciative of you folks that do that. And thank goodness you're doing an extraordinary job. Now we're going to break now. We'll be back shortly with more news. Welcome back to Good News, Covington County. Folks, I've been thinking here, kind of getting hungry. And I wanted to ask you a question. Have you tried the food at the Happy Kitchen located at Westgate Plaza over on Martin Luther King? If you haven't, you're missing a real treat. I eat there regularly. As you can tell by the looks of things, the food's pretty good. The portions are generous. They're open 6 days a week. And the Happy Kitchen is a local place for everything in the way of Asian food, from Mongolian beef to beef and broccoli. If you can't dine in with them, then call them for carryout. You can carry out order at 334-222-1398. That's 222-1398 for carryout at the Happy Kitchen. Now, this is an interesting story about a senior from Strong High School, an area that you wouldn't think Andalusia would produce a specialty in. There's a young lady named Kyla Owens, and she was recognized recently for receiving a karate scholarship to Bryan College Martial Arts Academy in Dayton, Tennessee. Owens has been a longtime member of the Andalusia Ishinshuru Karate, and now will continue her passion at the college level. The director of Bryan College Martial Arts Academy, David Holcomb, was at Strawn to present the scholarship to Owens in person. Holcomb said that Owens was the top female recruit on their board, and was someone that they were pleased to have join their program. Bryan College is only the second 4-year college in the United States to offer a 4-year martial arts curriculum. I don't know why not. You know, it's a great idea. People go to college to learn how to coach football and everything else. Owens receives a full $26,000 scholarship, $26,000 a year. She will compete on the school's karate team and study martial arts as a minor field of study along with a major in another field. During her time at Andalusia, Owens has picked up several grand championships and recently won a world championship in karate. After graduating from college, Owens says that she hopes one day to open her own dojo. Now, folks, I want to take a minute. I wasn't on here yesterday, and I want to just take a minute to share a few observations. My wife had to be a juror at the federal court in Montgomery, Alabama yesterday. Not being the most confident person in her own abilities to get up there, Bobby asked me to drive her up there. And after doing that, that's how I found out they don't accommodate for a lot of things, and I had some really fun experiences. You know, I'm kind of a different duck. I've been that way all my life, and that's where the story begins. The love, you know. It wasn't a surprise that we got called. Bobby got called from the jury. She got called last year, and we managed to dodge the bullet. But this year, we weren't so lucky. After impassioned pleas, letters, and everything else, they finally told us that Bobby had to go up there and be a juror. I don't know why. Maybe the moon and the stars didn't align properly. Anyway, when we got up there, it was real interesting. Found out that folks, the federal court system is scared of us, and we're not very respectful of that court system either. And that there's some work that needs to be done in Congress about that. I want to talk with all three of those things. First thing is in the letters, it says that you're supposed to dress appropriately, and then it goes on and gives a list of things that they don't want to see, which is t-shirts, wife beater shirts, flip flops, and those kind of things. There were 88 people in that room, and there were 6 t-shirts, 4 wife beater shirts, and 12 pairs of flip flops. I don't know why I counted looking at the feet. I guess I was bored. There were a lot of people that weren't very, very appropriately dressed at all, which makes you wonder about how much they support, they respect the court system. The security was rigid. And I mean, there was no budge. They didn't know quite what to do with me since I wasn't on the jurors list. So they had to create a place to send me and put me while I was there. Getting through the security was kind of crazy. I had to go through twice and ended up throwing away a pocket knife, and I'm still mad about that, so that I'd be able to get in and sit with the non-jury. I had to take off my boots, had to take off my belt, had to empty my pockets, had to, all the protocol that you would need to go through at if you went onto an airplane for an international flight. And then when I got inside, after having passed everything, the security guy looked over at me and said, "Hey, wait a second. I got a problem." I said, "What's that?" He says, "You can't have that pocket knife." So we let the garbage can have that case knife, and it's still killing me. And then the last thing was, when we got in there, we understood that we would have a visiting judge. And folks, this is the part that disturbed me the most. It's not that our government or our court system is so scared of we the citizens that they have to put all that security up. I know what happened at the Murrah building in Oklahoma, and that's what drove that. But what I do know is that we've got people in Washington that don't care enough about us down in Alabama to approve the judges that we need. And I'm not taking a stance on this for Trump or anybody else. But the fact is, we had what they call a visiting judge from another district come in and hold court over there. Now that makes the process go, barely. There are 3 federal judge appointments for just this court district that are being held up in the Senate of the United States. Now, folks, we've got a senator on each side of that issue in Washington. We've got a new senator up there that's a Democrat, and an old senator up there that's a Republican. And how or why they can't seem to get their brethren together so that we can have the judicial support that we need to make our area work right, I don't know. But if you've got time today, you pick up your phone or you get an email out or just get a plain old pen and pencil out and write your senator, because that's where it's held up in Washington. And you tell them that it's time for them to set your judges free. Everybody deserves a speedy trial according to our Constitution. And frankly, when they hold up those judicial appointments, they're denying people their basic right as an American citizen. Now, that I'm going to blow off all I can at that point in time. Tell you I'll be back shortly with a little bit more news from Covington County. Hey, welcome back to Good News Covington County, our final news segment. Our final news, weather, buzzard report, and fishing tables are brought to you by Anthony King and all the outfitters and guides at Fletcher's Outdoors in Andalusia. If you need expert advice on what's biting at the local lakes, ask the folks at Fletcher's. They'll not only tell you what's biting out there, they'll tell you what the fish are biting and what you can catch them on. They'll also tell you that what hunting things you need when hunting seasons come in, and fill all your hunting and fishing needs, even the coolers and the ice. Check with Fletcher's Outdoors, located at the corner of Martin Luther King and Brooklyn Road. Oh yeah, if you're hungry, Fletcher's got a breakfast buffet that's worth waking up early for. Now for today's outdoor adventures, we'll start with the daily Solenoid fishing tables, courtesy of the folks at Bassmasters. Today should be a pretty good day for fishing, and according to our tables, the best daylight fishing time should be from about 6:16 this morning to about 9:11 this morning. Tonight's best times for fishing will be from 6:56, nearly 7 o'clock, till 9:36 p.m. Tomorrow's best fishing should be from 7:15 to 10:15 in the morning, with fishing picking back up about 7:47 and running to 10:17 in the evening. Now, our buzzard report coming to you from our observation platform high atop the Covington County Courthouse, and presented at great risk by our meteorologist Arthritis McDaniel, says that there were only 4 of Covington County's fabulous birds of prey located on the courthouse this morning. I guess they're drying out their wings. Now, the weather for Tuesday and Wednesday runs kind of like this. Cloudy with a heavy chance of rain, especially in the afternoons. Local highs near 88, lows about 62. Chance of rain about 80% on both days. Now, right now, it's clouding up, getting to be humid, so I think that forecast is probably going to be right. Going out there. If it ain't thundering, it's great fishing. Hope you have a great day. Remember 2 things. Be kind to one another, and, oh yeah, shop local. See you tomorrow.